We all sometimes just want to zone out the real world and start slaying whatever is just there right in front of us. In fact, the mobile library for that has been a treasure for hack and slash games. And if you're looking for some of that action, why not? We just want to uncover a good 15 of those for your Android and iOS. First things first, peak of combat, well, let me just say it ain't the full Devil May Cry that you played on console, but it's pretty damn close enough to make you smile while your phone's frying up. First of all, controls are pretty tight for touchscreen, it's got crazy combos that just flow like butter, and overall, Dante-style fighting is absolute cinema. If you're craving a Devil May Cry light fix on the go, this one scratches that itch without asking for your kidney, and it's legitimately one of the most underrated mobile games of 2025. Grind's real, rewards definitely feel earned and not forced as well, which is pretty rare for mobile hack and slash. Not to mention, actually graphics had that sweet spot between stylish and readable. If God of War and Sekiro had a little mobile twin raised by Japanese ink painters, that would have to be Ronin: The Last Samurai. This game is just basically art and motion. Pure, disciplined swordplay where just one bad party costs you pretty much everything. No gimmicks, of course, no filter, just precision, timing, and every swing feels earned, every kill feels personal. The brushstroke visuals do give it a soul few mobile titles ever touch. It's pretty punishing, poetic, and shockingly deep for its size. Ronin doesn't chase trends, it's that kind of game. It perfects them. A small download that plays like a masterpiece, quite literally. One of the best samurai games ever made on mobiles and consoles. I think we can all agree, if all the best hack and slash ARPG, action RPG games like God of War and just basic fighting all got together and made a anime masterpiece, that would easily be Punishing Grey Raven. I mean, look, this game is pure skill-based combat heaven. Responsive, brutal, insanely satisfying, every combo and counter lands with perfect weight, making each fight feel quite earned. Even low-tier constructs can dominate if you've got the reflexes, the grind feels fair, the visuals are console level, and the story hits harder than it really needs to. It's definitely not just another action RPG here, it's an action RPG that proves mobile games can go toe-to-toe with console legends. A game of absolute talent. Tiny little download and one of the most ambitious games ever made. If you haven't played it yet, Takashi Ninja is like a Ghost of Tsushima right in your pocket for 500 megabytes of space. Skill heavy combat, dodging, countering, and assassinating like a Ubisoft game. Besides, it's got boss fights. And on top of all that quality, this game is even partially an open world, and it's offline. It works with a controller for Christ's sake. The story is no filter, it actually works perfect for offline grind sessions without feeling cheap. It's short, it's definitely not reinventing the old genre, but it's the rare mobile game that really makes you feel like a legit ninja, for free. Think of Diablo, but smaller and with the added risk of other players backstabbing you while you're looting a chest. And that is basically Abyss of Dungeons. You get 6 different classes, all different enough that you can actually try new builds without feeling dumb. Hacking, slashing, dark dungeons, satisfying loot, and a timer that's constantly punching you in the guts. It's an action RPG, obviously. It's got guilds, PvP, PvE, controls are simple, graphics old school but clean. It feels like mobile figured out hard but fair before everybody else. Abyss of Dungeons is one of the most addictive mobile games of 2025 with just the right amount of content. Alright guys, look, here's something interesting. Bleach, on the other hand, Soul Resonance, finally hit global launch, and it's just a gacha action RPG goodness with sword swings so fast your thumb's gonna be fighting over time. And not just that, you're gonna be collecting, summoning, and basically playing a mobile version of Bleach with combos that actually feel tight. Each brother you get to pick plays differently, so your blade choices matter if you care about looking cool while grinding. It's just high-speed, swipe-heavy combat with a gacha backbone. And what that simply means is that over 300 free draws are gonna be leaving you still hungry in the end. Anyway, fans of the anime or just sword action will definitely find this one decent. Coming Coming up behind that, it's the game, the one and only Zenless Zone Zero. Why? This game is style, it is combat and souls rolled into just one big food dish. It's basically if Devil May Cry and Persona 5 had a baby raised by Sony. I mean, look, when you get on the Google Play Store, ignore the reviews because half of the people complaining are playing on phones older than their SIM cards. Because on a solid device, it's buttery smooth, generous, and just fully free to play, friendly if you've got the skill. Simply put, this is Genshin Impact's developers at its absolute peak. And whether you're here for the combat, the characters, or just to vibe, Zenless Zone Zero ain't only a game, it's kind of a statement. Definitely one of the most underrated games of 2025. Epic Conquest 2 is kind of the hack and slash mobile RPG that you might have been waiting for. It's a small team of 4 developers that crafted a single player adventure with deep combat, almost 10 skills per different characters, and full mastery options. An open world with treasures, gears, and mixed builds to match your playstyle, classic blacksmithing, costumes, offline play, and also cloud saves that kind of make this one a complete package. No paywalls, no force ads as well. In fact, if you like the first Epic Conquest, this sequel multiples the scope and polish. Pretty good overall for grinding, looting, and building a dream hero anywhere, anytime. This is mobile RPG almost done right. Now, if you had to include a platformer style hack and slasher in the list, we'd have to at least mention one of the good ones, and Prince of Persia Lost Crown might be just the second best. I mean, obviously the number one had to go to Grim Valor. Anyway, it's kind of that rare moment when you realize it's not some watered down mobile port of a console game and has all the right qualities of a AAA console game on the go. It plays like a Metroidvania, it's got a tight combat, slick platforming, and puzzles that make you feel both smart and, at the same time unhinged. And the fact that it doesn't melt your battery halfway through, that's just magic. This thing over here is console tier craftsmanship right in your pocket.
Power of the Shadow Demon!
I mean, since we're talking about hack and slash games, who doesn't like a good fighting game? Shadow Fight 4 Arena delivers a top-tier martial arts experience with some amazing 3D graphics and smooth, realistic animations. See, this is an online PvP that lets you build a team of 3 epic warriors, each with their own unique skills to master, and the controls are rather way much more intuitive than the first game, making it easy for newcomers, but there's plenty of depth for those who want to climb the ranks. With customizable heroes, frequent updates, and addictive tournaments, this game keeps you hooked, whether you're fighting friends or battling AI offline. Number 14 is a honorable mention, and technically speaking, Power Lost feels like Diablo crawled out of 2000s, brushed off the dust and said, let's just do this my way. It's a solo developer's passion project turned full-blown RPG masterpiece, like no paywalls, no nonsense, playable offline, and just pure dungeon crawling addiction. You craft your own class, make spells with swords, and hit that procedurally generated mayhem that keeps changing every run. It's got that old school heart with modern polish, smooth controls, killer loot, and the freedom to play however the hell you want.
Stop Ronin's plan! Ronin? That must be the guy who stole our memory.
A classic little adventure that still actually holds up if you're into Lego games, or Ninjago. You get a bunch of cool different vehicles, villains, levels inspired by the show itself, all wrapped in that classic Lego charm. You could almost call this one, instead of a hack and slash, a chill and smash.
Think I'm going to miss?
Now on another number, we've got Solo Leveling Arise, which is basically if your favorite anime character got its own console treatment. Great character models, good effects, and some lore to keep you engaged for a bit, but the gameplay kinda quickly actually turns into a grindy checklist. Co-op, however, adds some action, though you'll often find yourself soloing, and honestly just a thrill of leveling feels by itself paper thin compared to the hype. If nothing else, it's flashy, looks great, but somewhere between the graphics and loot, solo leveling got left behind. Not a bad game at all, but not the kind you'd want for the long run. Now with that being said, Ninja Ryuko is one of those offline hack and slashers that just gets it halfway right. it is a hit or miss, basically. Smooth combat, stylish vibes, and a storyline that actually keeps you hooked. 5 different regions that feel surprisingly alive for a mobile game, with random enemies, proper stealth killing, and boss fights that hit pretty hard. Simple, fast, grind-friendly, pretty good if you like ninja games with a samurai twist. Way cooler than it actually looks at first glance, but along the way this game does get boring, and the reason I have to say it's a hit or miss is if you could log in without a hassle into the game and go offline, it is a hit. If not, just don't even bother. That is just not gonna fix on your phone. Now, it might be a little late to even bother with the first game, or even the second one, but Samurai 2 Vengeance takes pretty much everything the original did well and, sharpens it to diamond level. Gorgeous cel-shaded visuals that hit just a new level, especially on a tablet view where the game actually looks like a comic book ripping itself into motion. Joystick controls fix the old swipe problems, making combos easier, flashier, and far more fun to execute. The game itself in its entirety is just a brutal, linear, arcade, brawler action RPG, hack and slasher with a difficulty curve that occasionally feels punishing. This is an offline game, of course, but not a free one. Takes you about $3, and if you do mind that, well, you can always give it the old try and buy thing and, eventually go support developers. Coming up behind that, we've got something highly recommended, although it might not look like much, but Samurai Soul strips things down to just pure precision and timing. This game's all about mastering parries and deflects in fast-paced duels and really push your reflexes to the limit. It's got one-handed controls, it's easy to pick up anywhere. Don't mistake that for easy gameplay, because boss fights will definitely test your skills each and every time. The levels are pretty sharp, it's rewarding, built for that just one more try loop. If you're into skill-based action that's all about reading your opponent and striking back perfectly, Samurai Soul perfectly delivers.